So hello everyone, welcome. Thank you all for attending our first virtual graduate and professional expo. My name is Julia. I'm the community-based research assistant with Careerspace at Trent University. Careerspace provides an authentic outlook on the career landscape by providing Trent students and alumni with meaningful experiences, necessary perspectives, and valuable resources. We offer virtual appointments, workshops, online resources, and opportunities to connect with employers and recruiters. These services are free for all Trent students and alumni. You can visit our website, trentu.ca/careerspace, to book an appointment or learn more about our services. We are thrilled to have representatives from the University of Toronto with us here today. Before we go ahead and get started, I do just have some housekeeping items to mention. I would ask our presenter, Valerie, to please go ahead now and place your contact information in the chat box. We should have 10 to 15 minutes for questions and discussion following Valerie's presentation today. Please feel free to ask your questions at any time using the Q&A function at the bottom of your screen. And also today's presentation will be posted to our Careerspace YouTube channel. Without further ado, I'd like to welcome our guest from the Faculty of Social Work at U of T and ask that you please introduce yourself. The floor is yours.
All right, so I'll do a little bit of a presentation and introduction. I'm Valerie Groisman. I'm the coordinator of student programs and outreach at the Factor-Inwentash Faculty of Social Work at the University of Toronto. I'm also an alum of our program. I graduated in 2014 from our 2-year program, so I'm also a registered social worker. And I'll talk to you a little bit about our program. But first, just in case you're just getting familiar with social work, what is social work? It is the profession concerned with helping individuals, families, groups, and communities to enhance their individual and collective well-being. This is the definition from the Canadian Association of Social Workers. And these are some examples of places where you might find social workers working. So our social workers are employed by a variety of organizations ranging from healthcare to government, as well as not-for-profit and community organizations. We also, if any of you are familiar with any of these, we also serve individuals across the lifespan. So from children to the aging population and everything, everyone in between. These are some photos of our campuses. We have a really, really great library system and beautiful campus. And our MSWs graduate with foundations of generalist social work knowledge, values, and skills applicable to the various fields and methods of practice of social work, ethical, effective, and innovative social work practice knowledge and skills to serve a diverse society, the ability to practice competently and inform practice through theory and research. So something that distinguishes our program is there's a very strong emphasis about learning the theory and research, but more importantly, how do we translate the theory and the research that we're learning into practice and into how we practice as social workers. So there is a very strong components throughout the program, both through practica and in-class learning and outside of class learning, where students are invited to practice the skills that they've learned and apply them. Graduates also graduate with the knowledge and understanding to prepare for professional practice. We have 3 program options. The first one is a 2-year MSW full-time program. This program is designed for individuals who do not have a bachelor's of social work. And the way that it works is that the first year is designed to kind of bring everybody up to speed on social work in general. And it gives an introduction about all the different types of social work and all the different competencies that social workers practice. In the second year, this is for students who do have a bachelor's of social work. They join the 2-year program, and it's called MSW with Advanced standing, and that one is 1 year. We also have a 2-year full-time MSW in Indigenous Trauma and Resiliency program. It is a full-time program, and this one is 2 years full-time for all students, including bachelor's of social work and other educational backgrounds. So students in the 2-year program and students entering with advanced standing, they get to choose one of 5 fields of study. So one of the things that I love the most about this program is you really can make it your own, depending on the type of social work skills that you arrived to develop at our program. There's really lots of opportunity to really develop and hone in the skills and competencies that you are interested in. So the fields of study are children and their families, gerontology, which is the study of supporting the aging population and their families, human services management and leadership, designed to support you to take on leadership and management roles in social service organizations, mental health and social justice and diversity. In all of these, you can focus more on working directly with individuals, families, or groups, and clinically, or on a more policy or research level. We also have the MSW Indigenous Trauma and Resiliency program. It is designed to study trauma and the relevant to the complex needs and demands of practitioners working with individuals, families, schools, and communities affected by generational and historical pain and suffering. The program very much teaches and embodies Canadian Indigenous knowledge and values, and at the same time, it invites students to explore what it means to be Indigenous to their own heritage. So it's actually a really, really interesting program. It is a hybrid model in that it is a combination of 6 one-week intensive courses that happen at the faculty, and then online courses and field placements that happen in the students' home community. So students actually travel to the faculty just for 6 weeks over 2 years, and the rest of the program is in the home community and online. We also have collaborative specialization options and combined programs. This is an extra way to learn more about areas of interest to you. And these are some examples of topics with collaborative specializations. What happens is you use your electives towards any one of these. If you're interested, find out more on our website. We also have an option for combined JD MSW. JD is a law degree. And so when applicants apply to both our law school and the MSW and get offered admission to both, they can save 1 year and graduate with both degrees. We have lots of support services on campus, such as the Registrar and Administrative Team, on-site Writing Center, International Student Center, several equity offices that provide education support and resources, Career Center, counseling, health services, student housing, you name it, we probably have it available. Admission requirements for the 2-year MSW full-time program include an appropriate bachelor's degree from a recognized university, mid-B average in the final year of full-time study or equivalent, 3 full course credits in social sciences, and this includes half a credit course in research methodology, again with a mid-B or higher. Experience in social services is encouraged and recommended, but it is not required, and English proficiency if applicable. For the advanced standing option, you would be required to have a Bachelor of Social Work degree from a recognized university. And for the MSW Indigenous Trauma and Resiliency, again, the admission requirements are very similar. However, some applicants are selected to participate in an interview, and then from the applicants that are interviewed, some of them are offered admission. Deadline date, so if you were interested in the MSW Indigenous Trauma and Resiliency for September 2021, the early suggested deadline is October 16th, which is actually today, but don't worry, it's not too late to apply. This is just an early encouraged deadline just to provide your references extra time to provide us with references. But you can start your application anytime before November 2nd. After November 2nd, you would not be able to start your application online. So if you think you might be interested, it's a good idea to get started as soon as you're ready. The final documentation is due on November 16th. For the 2-year MSW program and MSW with advanced standing, the early suggested deadline is November 2nd. This is just an encouragement to start your application so that your reference forms are sent out to your referees, so you don't have to worry as much about them getting them in on time. The final deadline to apply is November 30th, and the final deadline to submit any remaining supporting documentation is December 10th. And this is for September 2021 admission. If you're here just kind of exploring potential things to do after your bachelor's, a great place to start is our podcast called Profiles in Social Work. It has our graduates who have their MSW degrees working in various fields of social work, talking about what they're doing with their degree. And I just find it always very inspirational and interesting to see the diversity of roles that you can take on after graduating with our Master in Social Work. If you have any questions about the program, you can reach out to me here, I'm Valerie, or to our admissions coordinator, Angela. We also have regular online Q&A sessions right now. So if you're interested, if you have more questions after today, I strongly encourage you to join one of our Q&A sessions. Some of them are dedicated to bachelor's in social work, advanced standing students. We actually have one today. Other ones are more general ones. So definitely check it out. And thank you for listening.
Thank you so much, Valerie. Just a reminder to everybody, if you have questions for Valerie today, you can click on the Q&A tab and enter them now. We actually already have two, so I will go ahead and read those out. Lenny says, hello, how competitive is the program?
So our 2-year program is fairly competitive. We get about 700 applications for about 140 spots. The MSW with advanced standing, I believe we get around 350 applications, and there are around 110 spots. And for the MSW in Indigenous Trauma and Resiliency, we get about 70 applications, and there are 25 spots. If you're interested in more than one program, you can apply, for example, the 2-year program and ITR, or advanced standing and ITR.
Thank you. We have another question. What number of applicants are typical? Which you also answered, so I will call that answered. We have a question from Tony. Do most students publish articles or papers?
So this is a professional program. It's not a thesis-based program. But the cool thing is that there is an option to do a thesis that's offered to up to 2 to 3 students in each cohort. So if it's something that you were interested in, it's definitely an option. We do also have a PhD program in social work. And we actually produce, our faculties produces the highest volume of new research. So there's definitely lots of opportunities to participate in research at our faculty, whether that's through doing a thesis or as a research assistant. Definitely lots of ways to get involved with papers publishing.
Thank you. We have another question from Lauren. Is there an equivalency list for the research methodology course that is required?
Yes, we have a full list on our website about acceptable research methods courses. At the same time, if you took a research methods course and it's called, for example, research methods, or you think that it should qualify and it's not on the list, please reach out to us. We can review it and approve it and then add it to the list. So if your course is not on our list, reach out to us.
And another one from Lauren, is unpaid volunteer experience considered, or is paid experience preferred?
Yes, absolutely. So in our application process, or I guess requirements, one of the components is a resume, and there's actually no limit on the resume length. So what that means is they would like you to include all of your experiences, and that includes experiences in retail, bartending, babysitting, even the 40 hours that you did in high school. They want to know about all of your experiences, and they really mean all. So definitely volunteer experiences are great. And any experience that you have is really good. It's better to include an experience that's kind of overlooked by the committee because maybe they don't find it as helpful, than to exclude something that would have strengthened your application. The other tip I have for you is to make sure that you follow the instructions. They're very, very detailed, and they want a lot of detail in your resume. So do follow the instructions that are posted.
Thank you so much. If anyone has any more questions, we have about 5 or so more minutes before I need to wrap up. In the meantime, while we wait to see if we get any more, I have a couple questions that I can ask. So what types of financial aid and funding are offered, and how are the recipients chosen?
So there are various financial aid options. So some of them are from the faculty and some of them are from the university. Some of them are by application and some of them are automatic just as for being part of our program. And each award has its own requirements and ways that they're selected. So I wouldn't be able to list them, but this information is available on our website if you want to learn more. There's also lots of opportunities to work as a research assistant as well as work study positions if you're also looking to supplement your income with work.
Thank you. We have another question. Do most students live near campus, and what is it like to live in this area as a graduate student?
So it really depends which program. So for example, for the MSW ITR, most students actually don't live near campus and they travel in for those 6 one-week intensive courses. For the 2-year advanced studying program, I would say most students are in the GTA, but we do have international students as well. I personally commuted from outside of Toronto. So it was a different experience than living on campus. On campus, there's of course lots of activity going on. It's right in the heart of downtown Toronto. It's never a dull moment over there, and lots of resources and supports when you live on campus.
Thank you. Where can you find the recording? It will be posted on the Careerspace YouTube page, Christopher. So that will be where you can find it. We have another question from Courtney. For your practical experience, can you do it anywhere or does it have to be in Toronto?
No, so we have a dedicated Practicum office and they're responsible for making sure that each student gets a practicum opportunity that meets their learning goals. And also one of the things that you can do is request for practicum to be in a certain area. And if it's available, they'll definitely help match you with it. The way that it works actually is that it's an online system. You read the different practicum opportunities, kind of like job applications. You select 5 and then the algorithm matches you with 2 for an interview and then hopefully you're offered 1. So when you're selecting the practicums, if you prefer one in a certain area, you can select more practicums in that area. If for whatever reason so it doesn't work out, the practicum office works with you to make sure that you get a practicum that works for you. And also this year, for example, because of COVID and everything, many of the practicums are actually happening online. So I wouldn't be surprised if there would be more online options next year, even if the program returns to in-person. So I'm sure there's gonna be more flexibility as we go forward.
Thank you so much. Maybe I'll do 1 or 2 more, and if anything comes in, we can take those as well. How closely do students work with faculty if the program is more course-based and most students don't do a thesis? And is there any sort of mentoring and advising relationship sort of established in that program?
Yeah, so the classes are actually fairly small. They're not, I wouldn't say they're very large, probably about 15 to 20 students, depending on the class. And a lot of it, as I mentioned, is very experiential. So a lot of work both in a large group and in small groups. So you get to really kind of, so the classes are not necessarily just lectures for each class. Especially in the second year. And in the first year, it's a combination of large group and smaller groups. And also the professors are very, very welcoming and open. So you can set up appointments with them to come and get to know them and connect with them outside of the classroom as well. They're really, really friendly and welcoming. I found it really easy to connect with them.
That's really great. Thank you so much. I just see in the chat, I don't know if it went to everybody else or just the panelists. Yes, Christopher, that is the right YouTube page, and I'm going to copy and paste it just so that everyone can see it. That is our YouTube for Careerspace. And if you're looking for the recording of any of our sessions, that is where they will be posted. So we're coming close to kind of a close. So I don't see any other questions from any attendees. So I will just remind you of Valerie's contact information, which I believe is in the chat. Thank you so much, Valerie, and to all of our students in attendance today for taking the time to learn about opportunities with the University of Toronto Faculty of Social Work. We have a couple of upcoming events, so we invite you to attend our Trent Graduate and Professional School Expo being held on November 13th from 9 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. To register, visit trentu.ca/SEP and click on the November 13th hold the date. As well, Careerspace, in partnership with Academic Skills, is presenting a virtual personal statement workshop on Tuesday, November 10th from 1 to 2 p.m. It will be posted on the Student Experience Portal's events calendar. You'll be able to register for the event from there. Most graduate school applications do require a personal statement or letter of intent. And with the knowledge you gain from this workshop, you'll be able to create these documents and submit the best application you can. So those two events are coming up in November. And yeah, thank you so much again, Valerie, and to all of our students who attended.
I posted the links for our Profiles in Social Work podcast, and it's a great place to start if you want to learn more about social work and the kind of roles that social workers do.
Thanks so much.
Okay, you're welcome. Thank you so much. Have a good day.
You too. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.